So we're going to start with some foam rolling, and this is going to be really important for loosening up all the muscles around our hips, which helps ease some back pressure as well. So we're going to roll our glutes first, and you can see the foam rollers pointing down towards my knees. Whichever glute cheek I'm on, that leg comes up. So for example, my left glute's being rolled here, and my left foot is on top of my right knee. Then I slowly roll side to side, just staying on that left glute, just ironing out any knots as such. When I find a really painful knot or a slight bit of pain, I pause on there and I move forwards and backwards, so friction rubbing that knot just to ease any pain. Then as I roll further past that, I'll probably find another knot and do exactly the same. And I repeat this maybe 5 to 6 times or until you get rid of any knots. And then after that, give it some nice rolls side to side, ease out, get some blood flow through it, and then we can repeat on the other side. Next, we're going to do our quads. These are really important because these get quite stiff when you're sitting down, maybe for work and things. So we start from the top of our knee, keep your legs straight and roll all the way up and down your thigh. Now, you can't see from this angle, but I'll show you in a bit. My left knee is on the floor at the other side, just to take a bit of pressure off, because it can be quite painful if you put all your weight on it. When you get to a knot, exactly the same as before, just do some side to side movement. That's going to help friction rub any knots out. And again, roll past it, find another knot and rub that out as well. Again, when you've done it, roll up and down just to ease it off. Here's the angle from the other side, just so you can see where my knee is on the floor. Now that helps take some pressure off. Try and make sure your hips are flat when you do this, but if you want to make it a bit more painful, which can help ease the knot out a bit sooner, you can take your other leg and rest it on top of the leg that's been rolled, just to add a bit more weight and gravity downwards. We're going to end with some stretching just to loosen out these muscles from being stiff and rolled. This is very important, should be repeated quite frequently across the week. So we're going to use our left foot and pop that on top of our right knee. Keep your back nice and straight. Try and just gently push that knee further away from you. Then you're going to lean forward and try and get your chest closer to your shin. You're going to feel that stretch in this example in the left glute. Obviously we'll repeat on both sides, and when you're stretching, just try and take some deep breaths into your stomach. About 5 times would be great. Next, we're going to do your hamstring stretch. So keep your leg nice and straight, pull your toes back. And I want you to lean slowly from the hip. You won't have to go very far to feel your hamstrings start to stretch. Again, 5 deep breaths into the stomach. Next, we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So if you put your feet hip width, bend your knees, pop your hands on the floor, and just try and straighten your legs as far as you can. From here, we're going to stretch our hamstrings. If you're very, very stiff, you can use the foam roller. Give yourself a bit of height from the floor. If that's still too far, you can tilt it up again and use that to put a bit of pressure through your hands. Again, if that's far too stiff, you can find a bench, a chair, and just place your hands on there, because you want to put a bit of pressure through your hands so all the weight isn't going through your legs, because that makes the stretch a little bit too intense. Just try and get your legs as straight as possible and feel a good stretch into the back of your hamstrings. Relax your head, relax your chest down, exactly the same. 5 deep breaths, take your time, and try and relax as much as possible. And finally, we're going to do what's called a sofa or couch stretch. This is really important for your hip flexor, so kneel on the floor, pop your foot maybe at the end of a sofa. Now, the further away your knee is from the sofa, the easier the stretch is going to feel. But then once your knee's on the floor, bring your other leg up, try and get that flat on the floor as much as possible, and then try and sit yourself up. In this example, I'm using a foam roller just to help with my balance, and you can move accordingly. You don't want the stretch far too intense that you can't do it. You might just have to move your knee further forward a little bit, just so you can feel it stretch enough. It should never be painful, just slightly discomforting. There should be no shaking or any painful grimaces, just nice, gentle, relaxed stretches frequently is going to help you no end.